Hey folks, Vortex here and welcome to my review of the iFi audio GoPods. Now these are a kind of high-end Bluetooth adapters, you can see, and they have interchangeable kind of connectors which you'll see in a bit. So yeah, as usual, full disclaimers, I'd like to thank iFi themselves for sending me this loaner to try it, so thank you very much. I was not paid to do this video and all thoughts and opinions are my own. And yeah, I've been using this already, but no spoilers yet. And yeah, just get into the video. So a lot of information is on the box. So obviously GoPod, there's the brand. Normally makes some quite premium gear. That's what they look like. Obviously you'll see them in a bit. Some information, it goes up to 24-bit 96 kHz. It does that because I've tried it. And yeah, they are just some basically high-end headphone amp DAC units basically. So that's what they look like in the case, which you'll see in a bit. There's the brand, information. So they do use Cirrus Logic DAC chips, again quite high-end, true balanced amplifier technology and Snapdragon sound. I could not test that because I don't own the chipset, which is I think Snapdragon 888 Gen 1 I think, and Gen 2 I don't own that, but I've got quite close, so it's not a big deal. So all the information, so LDAC and LHDC, I tried both of those. So they basically cover all the spectrum. Obviously uses a Qualcomm chipset as well. Master Hi-Fi DAC is essential on the front. Balanced amp. Digital filters are changeable in the app, so you have to download the app, which is on their website. Supports the quick charging and USB-C charging, as in wireless charging. So there's information about the battery life, shape, upgradable firmware. As of this video, it's on 1.39, which is the latest. Obviously it's got the normal Qualcomm CVC. Noise cancellation for calls, and it comes with both of those, which you'll see in a bit. More information there, what's in the box, which again you'll see in a bit, and then there's some more technical information about the specs and everything. But it works great, but obviously I'll talk about that in a bit. And there's a warranty for 12 months. And yeah, let's see what's in the box. So nothing out of the ordinary. Just open this up. Obviously got paperwork. I've been using these, so a bit of a spoiler. After sales, basically rules and regulations, a sticker, and pairing. So this is probably all you need to know how to use it. So for what the colours are, the light, the LED status, and basically the controls here. So it's very straightforward. There's no active noise cancellation or like ambient modes. This doesn't have that. And just to pair it. And there's some more information there about the case, the connectors, setup video, but a lot of it's straightforward. You can obviously wireless charge it or just use a normal connector, so 5V 1.0 amps. So in the bottom, carry case, so it's 2-pin to MMCX. This is the default one, that's what they look like. And obviously just a Type-C charge cable. Just get that out of the box so you can have a look. Thank you as well. And yeah, nothing out the ordinary there. Don't need the gel. So this is what we're here for. So obviously it's quite big. Obviously some tape still on there. Type-C. It has got wireless charging. So obviously there's the status lights of the battery. So again, this is quite big, and you open it up. So it is quite nice, see how it lights up. And obviously these are it's quite a large case. So obviously I don't think it matters what earphones you use. You plug them in, there's more than enough space, as you can see. And yeah, so obviously I've already been using these. But obviously I'll go over it all in the next bit. So I'll see you in a second. Yeah, so welcome to my review section of the iFi Audio GoPods. So here are a few earphones I've actually tried with it. So I tried to pick basically 4 different driver types. So you've got the Blonde Z300s, single dynamic driver, Kiwi is Quintet, a hybrid, quite a funky hybrid setup, an ORBA set, and planar set. So I wanted to see what it was like with these two. So I've tried these with like cheaper TRN adapters. So these things from a few years ago, and obviously they've updated it quite a bit. But what are these like with something like these? So get them out so you can see how it's lit up. So have a better look. You can see how it's light up. It is quite fancy. Obviously there's magnets in there and they're just going to the connectors. Kind of a like a fibre. You can feel slightly rough, but yeah, it's very good. It's just really big. It's a big case. So let's just put one of these on. So that's what it looks like. Obviously it's trying to pair with my phone, but it's not plugged in. So you just change this connector and that's what it looks like. Very straightforward. They are quite big. You do look a bit silly wearing it, but it is what it is. But that's what it looks like with that connected. So like I said before, I wanted to see what these are like. Put that there. On the different sources, because the TRN ones I've tried, that was okay, but they had that hiss which never really went away. So what's it like having a product that's the same thing but with better specs? So that welcomes what this is really. So I wanted to see what this was like with planar, hard to drive, compared to something like this which is easy to drive and it works perfectly fine. It's got impedance matching. I don't know how that works, but it works really, really well. So with the cheaper adapters, you get hiss like noise floor. So even when there's nothing playing, you can hear you understand what I mean? You can hear like a noise floor to it. It's perfectly fine with these. I also wanted to see how powerful these are with planars. So obviously these are the Lite S12 Pros. Works great. So 50% on my phone volume. Powers them perfectly fine, so which is good to see. So let's just plug one of these in so you can see what it looks like. Oops. You have to make sure you don't break any pins. So that's it. So it's one thing to note is it is a bit tight, but I didn't have any issues, and it did keep it very secure in your ear. So anyway, so like pairing with these is super easy, no problem at all. As I kind of expected really. Controls work fine. So when you actually do something, which is the bottom part, so I'll just get a closer look. So when you do any of the modes, that's the touch button, is this section here. There's a beep, so you know you've done something. So it's straightforward. So have a better closer look. So they are quite obviously, quite large. You can see I've used this just as comparison. But again, you can change it to MMCX. Obviously, I mainly use 2-pin because most of my stuff's 2-pin. And that's it. So you can see from the back. Obviously, the connector, there's L. Very straightforward, quite bland, but I don't mind that. I like the simple look. So pairing was fine. Connectivity again was quite good as well. I most of the time use LDAC, which does affect battery life, which I'll talk about in a bit. And it was fine. Like obviously, if your phone's in your pocket, you won't have any problems. Or if your device is in the same room, you shouldn't have any problems really. And I was actually quite fine with it. So battery life is, they say you get 7 hours from the units and 35 with the case. Now if you're using LDAC, you probably get 6 hours and then about 30 with the case, which is still very good for LDAC because it can really cane battery life, so it's not too bad. Obviously using the AAC or aptX, you'll get more battery life back. Obviously I tried LDAC because I wanted the best sound quality, and it obviously works perfectly fine. And sound quality, because obviously that's what you're paying the big money for. So what do these sound like? Now going back to back and blind testing, between using these wired and wireless, it is such a small gap. Basically wired, you're gaining, it's slightly clearer is probably the best way to describe it. I found the sound signature on these just like transparent, again, is the best way. Obviously the people who have made the internals of this know exactly what they're doing. It sounds great. Best Bluetooth of adapters I've tried so far, and for sheer sound quality, it's that close to being wired, and I'm perfectly happy with it. So they do work perfectly fine. Obviously charge times are quite small. Obviously I will link in the description the website, which has obviously all the data you can see. Obviously it was shown on the back of the box as well. As you can see, it does quite a lot. So obviously, you know, there's the battery life as well. Charging, I had no issues at all. And it works just perfectly fine. They are very straightforward adapters. Oh yeah, there is also an app for these. So if you want to change the filter or master reset them or change the name of actual what these appear in your phone, you need the app for it. So just bear that in mind. You also need the app if you have to update the firmware. But as of right now, these have got 1.39, which is the latest. So that's it. Apart from that, there's no other functionality with the app. There's no EQing or anything else really. It's quite basic. So you only probably need it temporary if there's a new firmware. Download the app, update the firmware, then you can maybe delete the app. It's up to you, but there's not much on it. The app I cannot find in the Play Store, but it is on the iFi audio. It's on the support section, and then you'll find it. So yeah, enough rambling on. My conclusion of these is, do I recommend them? So yes and no. As if you want the best kind of Bluetooth adapters, if you want the best sound quality, that's what these are. If you want the best kind of Bluetooth adapter technology as of at the moment, you want the best sound quality, you want the best experience with your music, these are the best. Cons, obviously price. This set is $399. So I'll bring it back around. So $400, and the case, as you can see, is really big. That's the downfall. But if you are fine with carrying something like this around in your, it's a bit big for a pocket, but if it's in your bag or something, that's fine. And if you want to be seen wearing these in public, again, because these are actually quite big, that's obviously up to you. But as a audio experience, I do recommend it. It's just expensive. And I think that's going to be pretty much it. Sound quality is very good. It's, like I said, it's so close to being wired. And that's pretty much it. Works everything I have here. These connectors are a bit tight. Maybe you can heat them up and suit it. But this isn't mine, so obviously I'm not going to modify anything at all. Obviously the touch controls work fine. Wait for it to focus. Obviously touched this bottom section here. And that's it. Some micro details, resolution, stage and all that is fine. It's just slightly behind wired. But I think it's that close, it doesn't really matter. Plus you got convenience wireless. Obviously battery life is pretty good, and that's pretty much it really. Comfort wise, they're fine as well. And I think I've covered everything. So if you want to know anything in particular, please do let me know in the comments. I may have missed something, I don't think I did. And yeah, as usual, I'll see you guys in the next video, and take care.